when I was young already, I was quite talented in motor skills. So I learned things quite quickly, and I was pretty good in different kind of sports. When we do ballet or ballet dancers, we are fine-tuning all the time our body. When you come to the stage and then you look up, you see these 10,000 people all around. Overuse injuries and accidents does happen, yeah. This is my life, this is my thing, what I'm doing, and I don't need to care, I don't need to please anybody, I don't need to please everybody. Motor skills, motor movements and everything, it builds the movement synapses in your body. From the class I started the first year, I'm the only one actually who got the contract as a professional dancer.
I am Tommy and this is Surfer of Life. Today's guest is a former national ballet dancer, Asla Jääskeläinen. Now you're an instructor and a coach. Asla, welcome.
Thank you.
How the studies going in Iso-Omena?
Yeah, it's going fine. Actually, it's very interesting. At the moment I started this autumn. I started massage therapist studies, and it's going pretty well. It's a lot of work, but it's very interesting and demanding. I'm really looking forward to deepen my studies into more to anatomy and how the human body works and functions.
You have a long history of the human body working and functioning, and we're going to talk about that a lot also. And studying is nothing new for you. You've been, for example, 9 years in the Finnish Nationl Ballet school. Am I right?
Yes, yeah. By the side when I went to ground school and then also all the way to high school, I was studying in the Finnish Nationl Ballet school for 9 years, yes.
How did you become a ballet dancer? What was the start for your career?
Well, I don't remember how young or old I was. The first time my first contact with ballet was I was watching some performance with my mom in the National Opera in Finland, Helsinki. And I remember some white figures. It felt quite boring, the performance, and I remember that I fell asleep. I think I slept quite well, and I think it was a Swan Lake, the performance. It didn't make any big influence for me, but anyway, I remember that I was there. But then few years after that, I think I was 7 or 8, we went to see another performance of in Finnish Nationl Ballet. It was Seven Brothers, which is actually today's Aleksis Kivi Day. So it's quite a coincidence since we're doing it today. But anyway, we went to see the show, The Seven Brothers, based on Aleksis Kivi book and choreographed by Mare Kuusela. That had something, I don't know what, but something happened anyway. For me, I felt that, okay, I saw these 7 guys working very masculine and very energetic and a good, nice story, Finnish-based, I don't know, something moved inside of me, and I felt that, okay, this could be something anyway, maybe. Anyway, I have been figure skating there, so for me it was familiar, and gymnastic as well, so with the music and movement, putting them together, so something happened anyway. And then later on, getting close to the spring, my mom asked me if I would start the ballet school in the autumn, that they are now seeking kids 9 years old, that would you like to start? And I said, yeah, why not, I can go there to start. Plus my siblings, my older sister and brother, they have been training ballet because they were doing figure skating. And my older brother, he started in Finnish Nationl Ballet School 1 year before me. So in a way, it was also a familiar place for me to go to. So a little bit I have a hinge or an idea how it is. And yeah, that was the beginning.
How was it back when you were younger as a kid, were you the only one who was practicing ballet, or were the other ones also, let's say, in the normal school?
In my school, there was no other guys who were doing ballet, or the schools nearby, there was no guys doing ballet. I was the only one. Of course, I have been playing football, so I had like friends or classmates. We were playing football in the same team, or other sports I was doing. So anyway, but for them it was a little bit odd that there is a guy who started to go to ballet school. But the other guys, they were a little bit more from the Helsinki, since I come from Espoo. So anyway, nobody else. Some girls, but not either in the same ballet school than I was going to. It was a little bit more in the private school, and not so many times in a week. It was a bit smaller scale than in the ballet school here.
Did it affect you at all as a kid when people were a little bit thinking of maybe this is odd that this guy is going to ballet, and okay, he's playing football, but we are like we know guys, they want to kick ball and maybe kick each other. So was it strange? Not strange is the wrong word, but was it hard for you, or was everything okay?
Yeah, of course it had a different kind of influences for me, for my future, and being in the school or in the group. Yes, because it was a little bit strange for the schoolmates. Of course, I have been doing figure skating there a little bit, but then of course they knew how I was and how I play and how do I sport. I'm quite active in different kind of sports, and I'm quite. When I was young already, I was quite talented in motor skills. So I learned things quite quickly, and I was pretty good in different kind of sports. So, but when then I started the ballet school, and if we had some physical education tests in school or something, if I was doing better than the other guys, so it was always like, okay, because you're that ballerina, so of course you can do those things. But yeah, it was a little bit odd for the other guys that like figure out that, okay, what's going on, that this guy is doing ballet but still he can do this kind of things, or he skiing competition, he's better than we are in skiing, or the track and field sports or whatever. So but it came, of course, everything from my background, from my family background and everything. So I have been always active since early ages.
Do you think you were already kind of developing your mindset during those times when people were thinking like this is a little bit different than normal, so-called normal sports that everybody was doing, that, and you were in this sort of a little spotlight that, okay, who is this guy doing something different? You think you had to already create some kind of mindset during that time that don't think about maybe the other people?
Yeah, definitely. I learned already from that early age that this is my life, this is my thing, what I'm doing, and I don't need to care. I don't need to please anybody. I don't need to please everybody. Just do my own thing, and that's it. It was already that kind of a mindset, because already people who I didn't know from other schools, they knew me, and they knew I was going in a ballet school. So it was a little bit odd that, okay, some people, okay, there's a ballerina going. So it was, well, something like that. Everybody knows the monkey, but monkey doesn't know anybody. So a little bit that kind of thinking, maybe.
Exactly. You think it would be very important since the early age that these kind of situations, that they would be talked about in the school already, and different situations that you don't really have to think about what the other groups think about you.
Definitely. It would help a lot of kids with, if they have like problems in the school, if they are bullied or something like that, that it would be that everybody would be treated equally and everybody is individual. So even though it's a group, but they are all individuals. Yeah.
Exactly. So from there at some point you moved to this National Ballet School. What age were you at that time?
I studied at 9. I studied right away in the Finnish Nationl Ballet School.
Oh, yeah. You studied it right away. Okay. So how many years it took for you to develop yourself as a sort of a professional, that you went all the way to the National Ballet? We're going to talk about that later also, but how many years did you have to study?
Well, it was a 9-year study. You can have a contract when you are 18. So when I was 18, then I got my first contract to the company. And then that's also when you go out from the school. Nowadays it's a little bit different, the system. A little bit they go a bit more or different amount of years. That it's a little bit divided nowadays. But then it was that you start when you're 9 from the first class, and then 8 and 9, and then you graduate. And nowadays they have divided that it's some primary classes already for younger kids also. So you can start in the Finnish National Ballet School even earlier than when you're 9.
Tell me a little about the ballet school. What's involved? What's included in the ballet school? What sort of topics you learned there?
It's mostly, when I was there, it was only ballet classes we had. I started maybe once or twice a week, but quite early we started to have trainings 5 times a week. So it's 1.5 hour ballet class, which we do. We were a group mixed with boys and girls in the beginning. We were maybe 5, 6, 7 boys in the beginning, and around 20 girls. And then every year there is a election or qualification for the next year. So you need to achieve certain level to proceed to a next class, so to say. So every year they were eliminating some students who didn't kind of follow up with the teaching.
You learn to work under pressure already early age then.
Yeah, and from the class I started the first year, I'm the only one actually who got the contract as a professional dancer. So there's nobody else. Yeah.
That's awesome. If you think back in those days, it's a long time ago, but maybe you remember something about it. Did you have to think about those things through? Because there was this pressure that you really have to be good, otherwise you're going to be kicked out from the school. So can you remember the part of the mental part? Did you do sort of methods or something where you're developing yourself, or did you just go with the flow?
No, quite a lot anyway with the flow, because anyway it's quite little boys in a ballet school. It's lack of boys there, and in a way we guys, we had it easier because it's less competition, and of course they want to have boys that they stay in the school and do a progress and graduate and maybe get a contract later on, because it's a school that it's meant to be that you get the profession from there, and it's under the Finnish National Ballet. So the target is also that from the school you become a dancer in a Finnish National Ballet School. So in a way maybe we have a little bit easier since we are less, plus also for me since I was talented in motor skills and everything, so in a way it was also a little bit easier for me. I wasn't clumsy, I wasn't hyper flexible or something like that, but in a way the motor skills I had it already because I had been doing a lot of different kind of sports already in advance, so it helped me throughout the whole schooling years.
Now we come to this part. What would be your words for the people and for the coaches and adults? Because nowadays in very early age it's going to be just one specific sport.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? You told me that you had different variations of sports and it actually made you a better in motor skills. You think this should be like that still?
Definitely it should be a big variety of different kind of sports. There is studies also for that even though like ballet or figure skating or gymnastics, it's this sports that you in early age start to practice only that. But for me, instance, I'm pretty sure it helped me in my career, learning faster, learning different kind of steps, different kind of things. Plus, I stayed healthier, since I wasn't working that. Even though dancing, all kind of dancing we were doing, it was not just ballet. It's quite big variety of movements you do, but still it's quite monotone to work and the workload. But all these kind of other things I have been doing beside of my work and my school years, it made that my body last more. I wasn't that much injured than dancers usually are. It's quite seldom I have been anyway away from work because of an injury or accident or stuff like that. So yes, plus it helps because if you do a different kind of motor skills, motor movements and everything, it builds the movement synapses in your body. So your body starts to recognize, and you have much more tools to build. If somebody shows you an example or asking you to do something, so you can faster build up an idea in your brain and also then in your body how you should proceed or do something or certain thing, because you have already, in a way, you can compare to something you have done previously. So it's not always like totally something new. So in a way, once it's a good example, I was thinking when I was in school and we had some long jump, I don't remember the result I was doing. It was pretty good. I think I was maybe in the 3rd or 4th grade. And then later on, maybe I was in 5th or 6th grade or even 7th grade. Of course, I had been training more. I had better jump. I was stronger. I was faster, but I couldn't anymore achieve the result of my long jump that I had before. And it was all because the ballet was taking the time from everything else. I didn't have so much time for other sports anymore. So even though my abilities were better, but I couldn't anymore perform that certain exact way of doing the long jump. Of course, if I would have been a little bit practicing, then it would come back. But in a way, I lost it because I was doing only ballet for certain points.
How was it in the school, at ballet school? Did you see kids getting injured already in the early age because doing this monotone practice?
Not so much in early ages in a ballet school, no. But then also in my class, we had excellent teacher who just graduated from the school and started coaching us. We were his first class. And he was really keen of sports and sports training and physical training, weightlifting, all these kind of different things. When we started my class, it was basically you had only ballet class and maybe some character dance. Later comes pas de deux, which is this pair dance that you start to support ballerina or lifting and carrying, and that kind of stuff came later. But since we were doing already these different kind of things, we had acrobatics, we had tap dancing, we had historical dances. So it was already, we got so much more tools for our career than later on. So when some choreographer came when I was in a company and asked, okay, I would like to have something like this. That, oh, you want something like flick-flack backwards? Yeah, what's that? Like this? Oh yeah, that's excellent. Or all these kind of things I've been able to put in the performances, or flips or somersaults or something like that was not practiced before. So it was big help for me that also to be able to do butterflies and stuff like that. That it was like, what is this stuff? So it came from the acrobatics, gymnastics, from breakdancing, all these street dance forms already that time, but it was not so much used.
A lot of different variations then.
Yeah.
Helps you out. How was the atmosphere in the school? Were you all like a big family together, or was there a big competition because some succeeded, some didn't? How did you feel that atmosphere?
We had really good group feeling. Our group, it was like, okay, if we were, let's say, we were competing before the class or after the class, we were wrestling or we were playing football or making pirouettes, turning pirouettes, and okay, something, okay, you did 4, okay, I can do 5. And then it was, in a way, the healthy way of competing and encouraging each other. It was not like, okay, you did 4, I didn't like the style, that's not correct, I show you how it's done correct. It was always with this good attention, competing and humor involved all the time. So we had really good, the group my class. Then when we were later second year we were already divided into the boys and girls. So already then we started to build this group because we were putting together 2 classes, because from my class I was the only guy who continued, and then they put it together with the guys who started a little bit later. So then we got really good, this group together, and we were pushing each other to better performances, and there was no envy business or that kind of backstabbing stuff going on, which was really good.
Did you have any mental coaching during those days in the school?
Actually not. It was not involved there. Well, my teacher was, again, once more, we had some self-suggestion, or it's a suggestio. I don't remember or actually know the right term in English, but we had already 1 or 2 sessions with some sport psychologist, which made this relaxing tape for each individual with some music that you chose to that you came with some music that, okay, I want to use this music in my relaxing tape. So it was then later on that if you listen to the whole tape, it was half an hour maybe, but then you could only take just the music, because when you were learning the relaxing part and then comes the music, so then later on you could put those 2 things together. And then when I went to a ballet competition, I think I was 17 already, and I still had the same teacher there. He made that way. We had the same routines every time we were practicing for that competition. I had the same perfume, I had the same music when I was doing the warm-up, and I was doing the same warm-up because I had only 2 numbers I was practicing. So it was like we made it like a routine. So when I go to the competition, I know the numbers I'm going to perform, so I can feel familiar with a different kind of smell. It doesn't matter how the theater in Lausanne smells, or people, what kind of perfume they have. I have my own, and then I listen to music when I do my own warm-up, so I can be there in my own place in a way.
You think it's important to practice in the same sort of situation, like you said, that then the competition is not so big of a deal because you're used to, like you said, the smell and the feelings and the music, so then you really can perform in the same level?
Yes and no. It's very good that if you can do that and use these kind of tools, that you may feel yourself self-certain, that you feel secure when you go there, and then you know that you are there just for yourself to do your own work or your own effort, and that's it. But then I've been also thinking that, what about those nature kids who doesn't know anything about this or doesn't have any pressure? They just go there and have fun. That's also another thing, that maybe we shouldn't tell them that you need mental coach, or there could be pressure or that kind of stuff also. So I maybe could share that in 2 different kind of groups, that there are people who need it, then they should get this help and tools, but those who don't know anything about it and just go there and enjoy the ride, we should just be quiet and let them go there and do their thing, like they do in practice or in a group when they have fun. It's the same thing, but then if they start to have thoughts in the back of the head, like, okay, maybe I should, maybe shouldn't I, should I, then it inhibits also maybe something in their own best performance, that they cannot get the best out of themselves. And that's the thing, that you should get the best out of yourself.
I think that's very well put, because many times you think about what we should do and what we shouldn't, but like you said, everybody is different.
Yeah.
Everybody is an individual, and maybe we just need different methods to deal with stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now you said you were practicing all different kind of variations of dancing and now, but then ballet. Can you explain me ballet? Because I don't know what's ballet.
Okay, what can I tell you about ballet? Ballet has a long history. It comes from something from the King of Sun, France, court, way back. That's the starting point. From it started to develop, has become a court dance first, and then it has become a performing art, which is demands a lot of work. It's hard. It all has set forms. Every movement has a beginning position. There is the movement, which has a form, and every step has also an ending position. It should be effortless. It should look effortless, easy, airy. Plus you put some, since it's a performing art, then of course you have some roles that you have to also translate to the audience. It's yeah.
How disciplined is ballet? As an outsider, I don't know why, but I, for example, kind of have an idea that it's this, you can move whatever, but it's very disciplined. But am I wrong or right?
Yeah, it's very disciplined. It demands, since it's a lot of work, it's a long career you have to do maybe, or it's a long process to educate yourself as a professional dancer to achieve a certain level. So it's very demanding in that sense. Yes, it's very disciplined way of life. And we were doing a performance where there were actors involved. We were doing a Midsummer Night's Dream. It was the year 2000, and we had the two cast of actors, and one of the cast was watching rehearsal from the auditorium as a spectator, and they saw what we were performing, what we were doing on stage. And then when they changed the cast, so the actors who were watching the first rehearsal came to do with us the performance or the practice, so they saw what's happening in the wings. And then they realized that is it really that how it looks in the wings, that you are almost not puking your guts out, but it's really gasping your breath, and we didn't see anything we were watching. And then in 2 seconds you go back there on the stage, running and jumping and smile and doing all these kind of things, that they were really amazed that how can you do it? I said, well, yeah, you have to. You cannot look tired or that on stage for the audience, or it's very seldom people get to see what actually how people are lying down and gasping breath and how they are really tired, exhausted in when they get off stage, and then they have to come back to stage again, maybe right away or soon or a bit later. So yes,
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So you learn how to recover very fast. And
yes.
Take a rest and then go back and like it never happened that you were tired.
Yeah, that's how you have to do it that way. Yes.
It's very physical, right?
Yes.
Now, because you are really true athletes, and I don't know, I think Penny knows it, but I don't know if anybody's really thinking about it, or many people, that how much it really demands, and I want to talk about it more for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, after school you became a national ballet dancer, and like you said, you were the only one actually from your class.
Yeah,
how did
from
it
the
feel?
first
From the
class,
first class, yes. How did it make you feel when you were picked to be a dancer in the National Ballet Finland?
Well, I was maybe around 16 and still was just hanging around with my friends in a ballet school. It was still fun. We were working hard, but it was maybe at that point it started to become, okay, maybe I could become a dancer. Maybe it could be a profession for me. So far it has been enjoying all the challenges every day and all the difficulties and everything, and conquer something and win myself every day and learning new stuff. I like to challenge myself every day. So then we were divided, since we were anyway big variety of ages. We were 5 years was difference with the youngest one and the oldest one. So they already, one or two of them got already contract, and then in a way in the later phase it was only me and one other or two other guys left from that big class, and we changed the teacher, so we were again put it together with some other classes. So now the guys younger than us, we were there. So then when it came to closer, then I was doing the audition. I didn't get job like this. I went to audition in November something, when I was still in school. It was open audition, so there were guys from Stockholm and a little bit around Europe taking part, and they were picking up actually we were two boys who got a contract. So it was me and a guy who was in my class. So yeah, I still even had after the audition, I still had some doubts that I don't know how it goes. Do I get a contract or not? But there was a older dancer colleague for me. Then he said to me, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a contract. So yeah, I got a contract and I was happy about it, of course.
How did it change after school? Now you were a professional. How was the atmosphere in the National Ballet compared to the school?
It is a bit different. In a way, if you think that you are going, well, at that point when you are last classes in a ballet school, you go 6 days a week. And then you have 1.5 hours ballet class and maybe sometimes pas de deux or something. Maybe some days you have some other class as well. But you have the same teacher all the time. You are a group of 5, 6 boys, so you get corrections all the time. It's always there is a teacher who is watching what you are doing. It's like correcting, okay, not that way, do this way and this way and this way. Plus, of course, we have the mirror. You're watching yourself all the time, so you learn to correct yourself as well. But then when you get into the company, you go to the morning class, which is every morning, Monday to Saturday. We had the six days working week. So you go to the ballet class, there's a teacher, there's a pianist like in a ballet school, but there's 25, 30 people. And you're new, so the teacher there doesn't have time for you as much as they had in a ballet school. Plus the teachers were changing also, so it's not always the same teacher. There we had 2, and then we had guest teachers and so on. So to get the attention from the teacher, it was not that easy, of course. You try to do your best, but there was already that you need to work quite a lot more with yourself. Plus the workload was increasing since a working day 7 hours. So it was, at that time when I started, we had working days in 2 shifts. It was from 10 to 11:15, the ballet class, and then 11:30 to 2:30 we had practices. So 3 hours of doing some program, which some performance it was coming or something. It was already what we were performing. Then we had a break during the day. At 6 in the evening we started the short ballet class again, warm up until 6:30, and then from 6:30 to 9:30 we had the practices again, and then come back next morning. And Saturdays, of course, we had a bit shorter. And then few years we were doing with that rhythm, but then we tried that, okay, how about if we put the whole working day in one block? So then we were working from 10 to 5 if we didn't have performance, and then Saturdays from 10 to 1. And if we have performance, then we finished 1 or 1:30 during the day, so we could have some rest and come back there for the performance. So it was quite a big step, an increase for the workload. So yes, I was quite, at that point I had some stress-related injuries and stuff like that, but of course it was my own fault as well. I was too greedy. I was doing a lot of extra stuff there as well. At some point I was explaining people and they asked, how could you do it? We lived 10 kilometers from the opera, so some days I bicycled to opera. Then I had the ballet class and the working day finished 2:30. Then I went to the gym to do some weightlifting. Then I was asking, because 4 o'clock there was a ballet school class, that can I take the ballet school class? So I was taking 1.5 hour extra ballet class there. And then we had even the rehearsals then for the evening. And then I bicycled home. So no wonder I had some stress-related injuries at that point and overuse of my body, yes. But yeah, it was actually insane now when I think back. But on a way, it also gave me quite huge, solid base then later on to build my condition and as a base that I could build the things on again. Since I had then my basic condition was, yes, so much better than just working 1.5 hours a day. But of course, obviously it was too much, but something anyway still maintained about it.
It's a crazy amount of work.
Yeah, it is.
How was the group? You told me that as a student you were really close and you're helping each other out and pushing each other. Was it the same in the National Ballet, or were you more competing against each other to get the role in the certain act, or how was it?
We were about 60, 70 dancers when I came to the company, and it was like a big family already. it's known the company that it was like a big family. You come there, then when you are young, you wait to your turn, you start to learn the things, you are understudy for certain roles, and then you develop there, and then when you skills and talent and you improve your capacity and performance skills, then later you get the job more and more demanding things to perform. But then beside that, you are understudy for even more demanding things. So in a way that you are growing there, and it was that the older, or not the old ones, but older dancers, more experienced dancer who are already, you could watch them to do, and then you could learn from them, and then later on it was your turn kind of, and then it's you are telling the younger ones, you are taking it forward, what you have learned during the years. It's still also, I remember we were practicing some ballet, and we were working some role. It was me and the other guy, only we were two in that rehearsal, and we had an American choreographer and an American assistant. And I did first the steps of the variation. We called it the variation. It was a variation of a gesture, and I did my part, or I started. Let's say I wasn't yet the first cast or anything, not the number one, but I was anyway doing first. And then when it was the younger guy's turn, he started to, and he had a little bit difficulties. Maybe he didn't understand everything in the terminology what the choreographer used, because it was a little bit different that we are used to here, and he was quite new in the company, the guy. So I was helping him out and pushing more out of him, and they were like a little bit wondering, the American people, and said that you're helping him. I said, yeah, why not? I'm helping him to become a better, so I also learn something from, because I'm helping him, so that's how it should go. That when everybody helps everybody, so everybody gets their best performance, their maximum talent out of themselves. It doesn't happen today or tomorrow. It's a long process when it happens. That if I say nothing to him, it doesn't make me a better or worse dancer. If I help him to become a better dancer, it makes me also a better person, and maybe even a better dancer. And if it goes that way, then somebody else is doing the same for me. And since I don't take it as a competition. I have my own strengths and weaknesses, and he has his own things. So it's not always that you compare, that if you're doing the same role, that you compare each other with each other. It's not like that. We all are individuals.
So it seems like it wasn't like that in every country then, like you said, in Finnish National Ballet, it seemed to be that you are helping each other out, and it seems like a very healthy environment to study and learn and to become a better performer. But then in other countries, maybe not that way.
Yeah, it has been maybe a little bit. And you see these movies of ballet world, they are really exaggerating, like Black Swan or something like that. It's not like that. It's maybe some people thinks it's entertaining, or all these gossips and stuff like that. Yes, it does happen, of course, in some way, and there is competing. There's throwing acids on people's eyes, like we know, and stuff. It happens in the world at some point and somewhere, but but we didn't have, and in the early 90s, Helsinki was a peripheria. It was, nobody knew about it. It's okay, we're here, we're in the same boat, so let's get the best out of it. So in a way, yeah.
When it comes to the preparation before performance, did you do anything special? Did you have certain routines or something? Like, how did you prepare yourself for the act, relax before the show?
Well, it was a little bit depending what kind of things I was doing, how demanding or challenging it was. Sometimes it was, I came to theater just before it started, and then I just put on the makeup and costume and warm up and go and do the show or the part I'm doing. Or sometimes it was, I came earlier to the opera to prepare. But at some point I started to feel that if I stay at home, I start to feel restless before the show. Then I decided, okay, it's better to go to opera. I'm there where I'm performing. I can do whatever I want there. but at least that I'm there. Since if I didn't have anything to do at home, okay, if I needed to clean or do some stuff like that, then I could do it and then go and do the performance. But then more demanding roles, it was quite a lot. It needed some sort of mindset and get the right mood and right feeling, get the good feeling, get the body going, get the body moving that way that you need, and stuff like that. Yeah, for some things I had some routines, yes. Hopefully I could get the studio free where I could go and put on the music I like, put the music loud, and for certain roles it was certain productions, certain roles, it was the same artist or same title, loud music in the studio, close the doors, be alone, running in the studio, sprinting, jabbing, running, jumping, get the body moving, get the good feeling, even sometimes singing or shouting out, that get really the good mood for the show, that you feel secure when you go on stage.
You said already before that you are really exhausted after you get off the stage, and soon you have to come back and people are just lying down and breathing hard. Do you have any breathing techniques you were practicing that you will recover faster after that one episode? And I don't know if episode is the right word, but then you go and recover and go back on the stage.
No, but I always try to make sure that I don't do the mistake that when I'm really tired and exhausted and I come off the stage, that I sit down or I lie down. I always kept moving all the time. I was taking care of that. I keep on moving, because if I sit, my body gets stuck. Even though if I sit only for 10-15 seconds or half a minute or minute, then it's hard to get back the body moving again, since the lactic acid or things that you makes the body. So I kept moving all the time, breathing. It's of course important not just breathe in, to breathe out as well, since it has to be. People are sometimes thinking, okay, breathe, Jesus, breathe in, but you need to breathe out as well. But also that keeping on all the time, keep the body moving. So I'm prepared for the next thing. Some people were a little bit watching, because I was walking in the wings and I was still imagining, for instance, one role I was thinking that, okay, I'm going now soon back on stage and I have to perform maximum jumps what I can, many in a row, and really be like so strong and so powerful as I can. So I was watching there, I had image of Maurice Green before he starts 100-meter dash, and before he was going like a lion in a cage. And now I wasn't licking with my tongue, well, I was doing some fuck here, but anyway, I was like trying to have this animal kind of thing, that I was really going like, okay, I'm an animal, and soon they opened the cage and then I run out. So I always try to be moving all the time.
What do you think is more important, or are they equal, your physical shape or your mental shape?
Both, but you need the physical health to be able to practice, but then you need the mental side to perform. You can be in very good shape and do your best test results or whatever, but if your head is not involved, you cannot get it out from your body. And with your brain, you can perform even better. You can conquer something that in regular rehearsals you cannot. We don't use our whole capacity. When we think we are tired, there's so much left still in our body. And I have also trying to push this limit and trying to find where is my limit, and always realized, hey, I can push more. I know I can push more. So I really have this feeling that, no, I'm not tired. I can do this. I can do this. It's a mindset, and in that way, those cases, you can get so much more when you get your head involved and get yourself to tell yourself that you can push even more. Not keep this level, but even more.
How is it possible to stay focused and keep your movement relaxed and your body language and your face, like you said, these actors they didn't understand that you're so exhausted, and then you go on stage and you look like there's nothing.
Yeah.
Is there a tip for that, or is it just those many years of work?
It's many years of work. It's a practice. When you do a performance, anyway, when we do ballet or ballet dancers, we are fine-tuning all the time our body. Let's say it's a car with the same motor all the time. In general, of course, we practice speed and strength and stamina, all these kind of different abilities and qualities. But then, anyway, it's about your brain that you get then all these kind of things then together and you can put it out.
What about if something happened on the stage? For sure it happened. You were 26 years in the National Ballet, and maybe during the act, during the show, something happens and it doesn't go how it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And you come off the stage, so how do you regroup yourself?
It depends. It has been easier, it has been harder. Sometimes, well, they say what happens on stage stays on stage, or the show must go on. So it just need to suck it up and continue. Of course, then when you go to the wings, it's off the stage, it's a little like, but then if you start to think too much of those things, it will affect when you come back on stage again. You cannot stop, since the show is going on all the time. The music is going and it's your turn again. You cannot stop and start to think about the mistakes or what happened on stage. And sometimes when it's too difficult things or big things, it has really that you can even be scared when you go on stage, that you're going to be sure. For instance, I had that it was one particular role and one particular movement, because I'm a left turner. I turned to the left, but I had to turn to the right like everybody else, two other guys. So it went quite well in the rehearsals and stuff like that, and then we were doing some performances, it went well. And then at some point it started to go so wrong technically. I don't know what happened, but I was pretty sure I'm going to land on my face on stage. And even my friend was watching from the wings. I was 45 degrees forward leaning when I should be like this in a jump. I was like, sure, he's going to land on his face. So it was a number of 1 minute, and I was the first of those double tours. I was almost landing on my face. I was already taking my hands because I'm sure I'm going to come down in a push-up position. But I could get my feet under myself and survived. And then I was going on there. I said, okay, this comes still twice more, this movement within the minute. Okay, one of them I'm doing alone and I can have different arms. Does it help has different arms? Does it help, or shall I do it to my better side? But okay, now comes when I have to do it with everybody else. So I managed that as well somehow. And then I don't remember anymore. I think I did still the way I have been practicing the third one when I was doing that alone. Then we had maybe 10 minutes break, 15 minutes break. Comes to coda where I have to do the jump 3 times. So it was okay, 10-15 minutes, like okay, I almost landed twice on my face. It can go better or it can go worse. So I went up to the studio in the middle of the show, and I was doing maybe 20-30 times that jump. And when I was feeling okay, I managed, it went fine and wrong, fine and wrong. I didn't know what to do. It just happened. It went fine or it went wrong. And when I got it like twice in a row that okay, it went fine, then I decided, okay, now I know it. Now I go down to stage and I just do it. But I was scared, of course. And it happens quite many performances in a row. So I was almost about to go to tell my boss that I cannot do this. Soon I'm going to land on my face, because I'm already kind of quite scared of that movement now. So if you are scared of doing something, you cannot do it. It affects how your body works. Obviously, if you are afraid of doing some stuff, some jump or not already, you are tensing your body already in advance, and you cannot do it the fluid way, how it should go.
How did you overcome that? You didn't go to the coach, tell him or her that...
No, I didn't. Somehow then I decided that, okay, I checked next performance and it turned. It started to come back. how it was practicing. But then also then I decided, okay, I don't practice this job anymore. I just go and do it. I've been able to perform it correctly, quite correctly, but fine. So I decided, okay, I'm not going to push my luck and start to have these doubts again. That I just go to the show and I do it. And when I go there and do it, I trust I can do it since I have been doing it before. Yeah.
Trusting yourself is a big part.
Yeah,
Doing
it is.
Said landing on your face, that doesn't sound very good. And you told me that you were lucky. Lucky is maybe not the right word, because you were practicing for it and you were keeping yourself in a good mental and physical condition, so you didn't have a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But what about the other dancers? Were there a lot of injuries in ballet?
Yes, it happens quite a lot. Overuse injuries and accidents does happen, yeah. It's quite often ankles and the knees are the most common that happens. Twisted ankles, yeah, sprains and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you have seen it a lot. What do you think is the biggest issue for recovery? Maybe even though it's physically they are in good condition, but you think it's very scary to go back to do those same movements on the stage if you have injured yourself. So what do you think about the mental aspect after injury?
Well, you should get back on the horse as fast as possible, but first you need to, if there is an injury, you need to recover. The body needs to recover from the injury, and then later start to practice. And I know there's some dancers who said that they're still afraid of doing that particular movement. They have injured themselves, or jump, or of course mostly it is a jump. Landing goes wrong, or actually it's not even the landing goes wrong. It goes wrong already from taking off, and then because you don't maybe realize it happens so fast, or you don't control when you're airborne, and so already then when you land it, you're landing it wrong because it's something happened already during the takeoff.
Was there anybody helping out these performers after injuries? Maybe a physiotherapist, but was there anybody helping them out mentally?
No, we didn't have any mental help for that. Of course, since it's a working place, you could have this during the healthcare. You could go to see some therapist. Of course, yes, we had physiotherapists working there at opera and guesting ones, or you could go somewhere to see a physiotherapist, but then not the mental part, no.
Do you think it would be important?
Yes, but it's also that it's the massage therapist and the physiotherapist. They work quite a lot of like a psychologist or a psychotherapist, since the patient or the client, hopefully they could be clients instead of patients, so they could be and stay healthy. But anyway, it's a different kind of relationship they build together or between each other. So the dancers or the clients or the patients tells things to the people who treat them. So in a way, that's also. Plus, when you have a good group feeling, so among the colleagues you can discuss about these topics. So that's also, you have a kind of, anyway, a network, but not the professional. Yes, of course, through the healthcare from the working place, you could get appointment if you have something really acute.
26 years, that's a long journey already. A lot of highlights, maybe some downward situations. What would be a highlight of the whole career in National Ballet? 26 years.
Oh, that's a tough one. There's different kind of highlights. There is feelings or achievements or the roles you have done. Different kind of wow feelings. One of them, we were performing in front of the Parliament House just before we opened the new Opera House, 93. We were performing a piece called Ballet Pathetic. And we came from inside, from the Parliament House. We were changing clothes there. It was an open air venue they had in front of the Parliament House. They had a stage. We were coming in our role. We were watching, focused down. We had a plate in our hands. We were walking in some kind of corridor. You just felt that, okay, there's a corridor and we are going to the stage. There was some guard that making space for us. And then when you come to the stage, and then you look up, you see these 10,000 people like all around. That big mass of wall of people, it was like, wow. Because you were used to, with the old opera house was like 300-400 people, 300 spectators, and now it was like, when you walked up, it was just filled with people, the whole stairs, people on the rocks over there, on the rooftop, and everything. It was filled with people. That was like, I almost felt backwards because it was so big somehow, the energy that came. Or sometimes some performance that you feel that it went good, or you felt that you gave everything you had, and like, okay, I couldn't push more, or I still could have pushed more, and it's different kind of things. Or if you succeeded something, or some demanding roles that you were chosen to perform, and then you could perform them and translate, or do the show and the whole evening, not just one number, or one number really demanding and which went quite well and you were just satisfied. It's a lot of highlights.
What do you think about ballet? Is it work, is it dancing, or is it more like a way of living?
It's a way of life. If you want to do it properly, yes, or you can. No, you cannot have it as a work, no. It's dancing. For me, it was a hobby, which became a profession. So in a way, I'm lucky that I could make a profession or make my living out of something that was first my hobby, and I really liked and felt passion about it. And it is anyway. You have to focus, and it's a long career, or even though your career becomes short, you never know in advance. So you have to focus and have this long-term goals, or that be already mindset for that. No, I have to do everything for this. So in a way, it's not just work. It is a way of life, even though it is a working place and it's a profession.
Dancing career comes to an end at some point, and it also happened to you. How did you feel when it came to an end in the National Ballet? Was it a tough call?
Yeah, it is. It is. A little bit a year ago, I retired, so to say, from a dancer's career, and tough work, tough profession. 26 years I've been living that somebody else has been making my schedules, my daily, my weekly, my year schedule. I just go and look at the dashboard, see what's on the next week, what's the rehearsals, what's my role, what I'm performing, where and why. The why part I have to discover myself, of course, or for whom I discover that I do this for myself. But then now I'm doing a lot of different kind of things. So now I realize that, okay, now I need to have calendar all the time. If I make some appointments, I need to fit them in the calendar. I have to make some living. I have to get job, and how much and from where I can get different kind of things to do. Can I have them frequently or not frequently, and where I can put it? It is a kind of a puzzle, and a little bit stressful in that sense, since I'm not used to it at all. I've been going all my life that somebody else has been basically doing. The 9 years already in the ballet school before that somebody else has been doing my schedules. But now I have to fit myself into my schedule somehow, and try to stretch and expand those things that I said yes, because if I say yes, but how about if I say no to this, maybe it doesn't become something new, and if I say yes to this, is it away from something else that could maybe improve myself better, or more interesting, or I could help this in this task or this group more. So it's a little bit balancing now, that how much I can take so I can give all I have. Plus also it is moving, divorce, retiring, it's the biggest things that causes stress in the human life. So I got two of them at the same time. So we moved, and me and my wife, we both retired, as a professional dancer from Finnish Nationl Ballet at the same time. So we had to do one of those two biggest stressful things, but it's also that we had it together. So it's something we have in common, the profession and also retiring at the same time. So it is a shock because you have been living in one world inside the opera with the people of the opera so many years, so many hours, and not so much contact to the outside, because it is a way of life. It is a group of friends or colleagues, but for us it's friends. So now we are not there, see them every day, like 7 hours a day that we are used to. So it is also a demanding thing. Yes, that's stress.
You've been keeping it going, and you do a lot of things. You've been coaching and instructing, all the kind of things. What do you do nowadays?
Yeah, still the last years before I finished dancing, I was studying in Kisakalli Sport Institute for a higher qualification for physical education. I finished that one before I stopped dancing, and then a little bit based from that, I have been then first my last year as a dancer, I started to coach a little bit dancers, testing the physical qualifications or qualities or abilities from the dancers. I was already a little bit involved in that since my background and my education. I'm having figure skaters twice a week, ice dancers and single skaters once, giving skill training and this off-ice training, skills and agility and different kind of motor skill training for them to improve their figure skating skills. And now also this autumn I started for Kisakalli, they have this health skills. New thing that is for adults, group of adults or working places, that they usually they have been going from the working places to Kisakalli for a day or two to have been doing some education for better quality for their life, like nutrition or exercising or sleeping. So now I'm working for Kisakalli in that sense that I'm here in Helsinki or some elsewhere, that I have different kind of groups that I go there and keep this kind of lectures. We do things together. I give them exercises, I give them training program, and it's a group training but also a little bit individual. Plus then the two schools is the physiotherapist and this sports nutrition. So
you do many things.
Yes, my older daughter said that, Dad, you have so much, you're working so much. That yeah, I am, but it's quite often it's in the evenings, of course, now, since when the kids are in the school and then they go to figure skating and then they have the practices. So in a way that's also in the evenings. So, but it was already evenings when we were dancing also. But it's a lot of things now going on. But I'm collecting my package or my backpack with new tools and getting new ideas and new, I don't know, let's see what becomes, but all different kind of things. Yeah, developing myself.
Do you think you have given yourself time already? It's not far from the career ended in the National Ballet. Do you think you have given yourself time to stop for a while and think about the whole package, the whole career, or have you just moved on fast forward?
Well, it kind of happened for me. I went quite fast forward. In a way, I had an idea what I was doing, and it was something I had started already. And then people were asking me that, okay, you have now more time. Would you like to come and do things with us or practice or train us and so on? And yeah, plus. Yeah, Sundays I give ballet classes as well. Yeah, not at the opera, but I have these ballet courses I'm giving. So in a way, yes. So it is different kind of things I do, and has been going on that people has been asking that, could you, or do you have time, or do you want? So far I have been saying Yes, to almost everything. Yeah. Sometimes I already have said no because I have realized that I cannot do it, or it doesn't fit in the schedule. Yeah.
And the future will show you how it goes. Can you see yourself in 10 years from now?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm still doing the same things, but anyway, since I come from the top athlete and physical education family, so I feel that I have got so much from the sports world and sports people and coaches, different kind of things, that I anyway have the feeling that I want to give back. I have got so much that I want to give back. Everything I have, I want to help the athletes, or if I can help the coaches or whatever. I just have a feeling that I want to give back from my experiences and share it forward, what I have received from everybody during my years.
I can see it when you're explaining it. It's there. I can see some passion in there. So this might be the thing for you after your career as a dancer. It's been great. It's been just so wonderful hearing the story and you opening the curtain for the ballet world and kind of putting away these Hollywood expectations, how it's going over there in the ballet scene. And I've been thrilled to hear this and hear your story. I have one more question, the final question for you. Right. When you wake up in the morning nowadays, you wake up, what makes your life joyful? Why you want to wake up from the bed?
Oh, it's the kids. And still, I'm anyway. Since we started the working day at 10 o'clock, so for me the mornings has been the mornings I have been able to spend with the kids. We wake up, we eat the breakfast together. I've been taking them to kindergarten or to school. So it is, for me, it's a routine. It's the start for the day. If you would be working the regular office or some elsewhere that you go already at 8 or at 9 to work, then you don't see the kids in the morning. But also, since we have been finishing the work at 5 o'clock, so when I was dancing, I've been able to pick them up 5:30, and then already 8:30 they go to bed, or 8 o'clock. So the morning is the time also that I have time to spend with the kids. Of course, we're eating breakfast and so on, and then afternoons before they go to sleep. But sometimes, since we have been having performances in the evening, so sometimes it's always the morning we have been able to spend together. But it's the family which makes the morning. And of course, now when the kids are still small, so it's always nice to see them and see how they wake up and bringing them good mood, and they bring us good mood. It's really nice.
Thank you very much, Asla.
Thank you.